What's up, everybody? This is Josh here with Basement Level Magic, and I was going to show you guys a deck tech on a standard deck that I am actually brewing myself. And I'm definitely looking for any assistance that people would want to give. It's a deck, I like playing dragons, and there's not a lot of dragon decks out there. I also feel like right now is a good time for Silumgar's Scorn and Draconic Roar. You've got a lot of small creatures that die to Draconic Roar, and who doesn't like a counterspell? Now this deck is definitely really tough on the mana base because I'm looking at double blue on turn 2, double black on turn 3, and double red on turn 4 with early red plays also. I may be a little bit too greedy, and that could cost me, but this deck has been performing fairly well, and I'll probably show you guys some games with it. But I'm just kind of looking to see if you guys have any ideas or if you like where it's headed. I'm also going to probably run a league with this like I have with the NoJ standard decks. But those decks I have been just basically copy or net decking with those, but this one is my own. So we'll go ahead and look at the deck. So we've got 3 islands, 2 mountains, and 2 swamps. We have 2 smoldering marshes, 3 sunken hollows, and then 2 Shivan Reef. The 2 Shivan Reef feel bad for some reason, but with the heavy need for blue and red, I feel like it just is a necessity right now. If anyone has good input, I'll love to take it. And then we have right now we have 12 fetch lands. I had been running 2 Evolving Wilds instead of the second Flooded Strand and Wooded Foothills, but I've decided to try out with the additional fetch lands so that my lands could possibly come into play untapped, whereas Evolving Wilds, they will always be tapped. So 4 polluted deltas, 4 bloodstained mires, 2 wooded foothills, and 2 flooded strands. Those flooded strands and wooded foothills can get the dual lands like Sunken Hollow or Smoldering Marsh, but also the basics that we're looking for. And then getting into the spells, we have 2 Fiery Impulse, which I've gone back and forth between playing Fiery Impulse and Wild Slash. Fiery Impulse is just a dead card against most of the Esper decks right now, so I've been kind of torn, but right now I do have the Fiery Impulse in ×2. Duress I have in the main deck because we do have some issues with some of the big strong planeswalkers. We need to get those out of hand as much as possible. I'm thinking of the Eldrazi ramp decks where they play all those Ugins, which is a difficult card for us to deal with. We do play 4 Draconic Roar and 4 Silumgar's Scorn. That's part of the reason why you want to be playing dragons. So if you're playing dragons, you want to be able to take advantage of both of these cards. Then at the 3-drop spot, we've got 2 Kolaghan's Command. Just looking to have any 2-for-1 that you can get is usually a profitable thing. And Kolaghan's Command is, it's priced to play. I've got 1 Radiant Flames in the main deck, and that, generally you're going to wipe a lot of those aggro decks out. We've got 2 Ruinous Path. I know a lot of people are not sold on Ruinous Path right now, but this is our way to get rid of Planeswalkers. It also helps with Anafenza and Siege Rhino, so that's why we're playing those. We have 2 Read the Bones. I'm choosing to go with Read the Bones over Painful Truths. 1, it's a little bit less damage. 2, it's also more card selection. So that's why I'm doing Read the Bones over Painful Truths. We have 4 Thunderbreak Regent. This is a card that I pretty much never take out. I think that card is just too strong right now, and it's at the 4-drop spot. It's really hard for me to take that out instead of some of our other options. We have 2 Kolaghan the Storm's Fury, which honestly has been insanely good in every match I play. I've been really close to wanting to bring in more, but the legendary creature status makes it kind of difficult to go more than 2. I do have 1 Crux of Fate in the main deck, 1 Murderous Cut, and 2 Icefall Regent. Those have actually been fairly strong for us as well. It's difficult to remove because it costs 2 more mana for our opponents, and also it pseudo removal on one of their best creatures. We also have 1 of Tasigur, 1 Dragonlord Silumgar, and 1 Dragonlord, or not Dragonlord, but regular Silumgar the Drifting Death, and then 2 Dig Through types. Go ahead and look at the sideboard here, and you'll notice that we've got some some decks we have difficulties with, and that includes like those Eldrazi ramp decks. So that's why I've got 2 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Stratus Dancers, which can help deal with a lot of your control decks. Also, it's just an early body that you can get out on the board. If it's a super aggressive deck, it's a blocker. Dig Through Time, bring in that for other control decks. Ultimate Price, this card has been really good against a lot of the red-green aggressive decks, as well as on Magic Online. There's a lot of low to the ground, monocolored, 2-colored decks out there that aren't playing a lot of gold cards. So Ultimate Price comes in for that. Virulent Plague against any token strategy. It's super strong. It kills, or it shuts down a lot of your Hurling Outbursts, your Secure the Waste kind of decks. So we've got that in there. Infinite Obliteration is a deck that you bring in for the Eldrazi ramp decks, but this is actually also a card that you could side in if you wanted to against like a Siege Rhino or Anafenza. Right now, Abzan is kind of ruling the standard metagame, so having a way to just get all those cards out of your opponent's deck is really important. We also have one more Crux of Fate in the sideboard, another Tasigur, a Sark on the Dragon Speaker that we would look to bring in against control decks. It's just a different kind of threat. And also it's a hasty 4/4. Radiant Flames, we have another one of those for those aggro decks. And then a one of Silumgar's Command. That card is super strong. It's able to kill a Planeswalker and a lot of times a creature. And also it can return a target permanent to its owner's hand if you're having issues with, say, like a Mastery of the Unseen, any type of enchantment, and also counter a non-creature spell. So just a very useful card that you'll bring in against other mid-range strategies. But that's the deck, calling it Grixis Dragons. It's hard to tell whether it's a control deck versus a more mid-range deck. Either way, we're looking to kill lots of creatures early and bring out our big dragons late. Alright guys, this is Josh here with Basement Level Magic. If you like this deck and want to see more of it, go ahead and leave some comments below, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I plan on putting up a few videos of me playing with this deck, but I'm just going to go ahead and get this out there right now so that you guys can all give me some feedback and let me know if there's some changes that you would make. Alright, thanks guys, bye.